Hi, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Marlai and Oputi. Trust we are having a great weekend. I'd like to start by saying thank you to all our members. Thank you so much for your participation, for your comment, for always contributing to every of the topic that we discuss on a daily basis. And I would also like to celebrate all our new members and our new subscribers too on YouTube. Thank you so much for making it happen for us, for always joining us. I'd like to encourage you, please feel free to participate. Feel free to leave us a comment, a like, as we would like to hear from you. Thank you so much for always joining us. And I would also like to congratulate every one of us for the privilege to see even the end of this month. I mean, this month has almost come to an end, and it's a privilege for us to see the third quarter of the year, and we are looking forward to the fourth quarter. And we know that God that has kept us this far will keep us for many more years to come. So thank you so much for always joining us. Today we'll be looking at an interesting topic that says the four cycles or stages that every marital relationship will go through. So the four cycles or stages every marital relationship will go through. This is actually an extract from my book titled Marriage or Mirage. It's a whole chapter in that book that talks about the cycles that your marriage will go through. So it is important for us to understand this cycle and also know where we are at each of the, to know where we are or where we belong currently on each of the cycles, so as to enable us know how to navigate through the difficult terrain. So I'm going to go through them and I'm going to explain each of the cycles. So I'm going to start with the first one that talks about the falling in love stage. You know, the falling in love stage, some other people call this like the romance stage. I mean, this is usually the beginning where you feel you've met, you know, the person, you've met the Mr. Right or Miss Right. That is the stage where you feel that you feel the euphoria of love all around you. You feel, oh, something has happened to you. You know, at that stage, everything looks effortless and everything seems to be happening fast. You know, you feel, oh, you are in a different world. You can feel the love, and you can see even the love that the person is trying to show towards you. I mean, this is usually the romance stage. At that romance stage, we tend to only see the good part or the good bit in that partner. You don't tend to see the negative potentials or the negative tendencies that they tend to have, you know, at this falling in love stage, because, you know, at that stage you are still enjoying all the euphoria of love. Trying to you're still trying to grab every bit of the feeling of love and romance that you are getting. So at that stage, it's very easy um, for you to think that you love the person, you know, because definitely both of you will keep doing things that show that you both care and that you both love this, or you both love each other. However, this stage doesn't really last for long, as it has been proven to last for probably a minimum of 2 years, most of the time, maybe 2 to 3 years. By the third year, you know, it's been said that your eyes will start clearing gradually and you will begin to see the real person now. So that first stage happens to almost everyone at one point or the other. You would have fallen in love with someone in your lifetime that you tend not to even see the negative in that person. All you see, oh, is the good part, is the beautiful part. which is good. I mean, it happens to almost everyone. So that is the first stage, and we all experience this at one time or the other in our marriages, and that is the season where you say, "Oh, I'm feeling butterfly in my tummy." Oh, it's like, oh, you can't do or live without a person, and all of that. So that is this first stage. So we are going to move to the second stage, and the second stage is called making love happen. Making love happen, or some other people call it the struggling stage. Now, at this stage, you are beginning to get to know, more about the person. You are beginning to see their negative side. Now, you are beginning to see some unpleasant things that you seem not to like, in that partner, in that spouse, and you're beginning to wonder, will this really last for long? I mean, based on the new trait, the perceived new trait that you are seeing, apparently it's not new. It has always been there, but it's just that they didn't put that part forward, initially, just because, both would usually put their best foot forward. So now you're beginning to know the real person. You're beginning to see a lot of things. So that first stage of falling in love, that love is happening to you, and all of that is beginning to wear off or wear out. You are now, you are beginning to come to terms with the fact that okay, so this time around, you are more logical. You are beginning to involve your mental or intellectual abilities more than, reasoning with your emotions now. This time around, you don't want to go by your emotions. You now want to go by who, your mind. You want to listen to your mind. You want to reason, you know, on almost everything the person is doing, and you want to be sure if you can be safe with this person. It is said that this is actually the cycle or the stage where some actually decide or determine if they will experience, that happily forever after, because some at that stage will beginning to see that I think this may not be a permanent relationship from these traits that I'm saying, from what I'm saying. They are beginning to struggle. There are little fears here and there. However, at that stage, you are still trying to give some benefit of doubt. You are still trying to be hopeful. At that stage, you are still believing. You still want to put in effort. You still want to put in some work, because you believe that I think it may get better. So that is why we call that stage making love happen, because you could see that it's no longer the natural way. It's no longer happening the natural way. It said that at that stage, some even start keeping to themselves. Communication is being truncated. You see a lot happening at that stage. So it's now left for the individual adult, to decide if I want this, then let me make love happen. So that is why we said that stage is the making love happen. So that means you are the one now deliberately, doing things that would make the other person see that, well, you still care, you are still very much hopeful that things will turn out well, even though at that stage you might be feeling abandoned, you might be feeling the other party is withdrawn, you may not get all the emotional attention you used to get, you may feel, oh, the companionship is beginning to drift apart. I mean, a lot happened at this stage, but it's now left for you after so much assessment of the relationship to decide, oh, okay, if this is what I want, then let me put in the work, let me make love happen. So at that stage, you make some compromises here and there, you make sacrifices. And while you are doing all of that, you are still reasoning along to be sure that, okay, everything you are trying to do will be worth it at the end of the day. So that leads us to the third stage. So the third stage is the labor of love. At that stage, you've seen a lot. I mean, they've sprung a lot of negative surprises. That is the stage where there will be so much confrontations, especially for those who are not matured enough or that are insensitive to the spouse that they married. They just do things that they don't reason out those things before they get them done. So they care less if the other person is hurting. So that stage, it's usually the confrontational stage, and that is the stage where the tension is heightened. I mean, it's obvious that this is the make or the break part, or the make or break stage of this relationship or this marriage. This is what will finally, determine if the camel's back will be broken, or if we will keep putting the work that will make this building or this home stand. So there, why we call it labor of love is because at that stage, even though you are seeing everything that should make you quit, that relationship or that marriage, you are still telling yourself that I will give it one more shot. I'll give it one more trial. I will seek help. I will involve maybe counselors. I will involve parents. I will involve um, people that can help to salvage the situation and see if that would also work. I mean, if that would help. So that is the stage where you now see parents getting involved, calling the other partner and saying, "Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" You see the pastors, calling to say, "Oh," or they will even call the person to say, "Would like to see you." They would like to step in. You see counselors stepping in. You see a lot of people stepping in. Why? Because obviously they could see things, they could see actions, behaviors, a lot of negative surprises springing up, that could mar the marriage, that could break the marriage. So at that stage, everyone would be concerned, or they would seem to be afraid for the couples. And you know one of them, at that stage, who is the sensible one, will put in the labor of love. So this time around, you are laboring. You are telling yourself, okay, if not for anything, I'm doing this for my children. That's when you now hear some of them say, "Oh, see, the only reason why I'm still in this relationship or in this marriage is because of these children." That's when you also hear that, "Oh, if not for anything, I'm doing this because of God, because of God, probably because of my stand with God." So you now have like some other reason why you are still hanging in there. That's why we call that labor. It's now laborious. You are not enjoying it. It's not fun, but you are willing to put in that extra effort. You are willing to put in that extra shot. You are willing to do, that extra work, hoping that things will change, hoping that, very soon, a change will happen, even though at that stage you may have seen that it's not a work you can do by yourself. That is why you are involving, some other people who can help out, with maybe speaking to the spouse or calling, the person to order, depending on who, is posing the storm to the marital relationship. So that is why we call that stage labor of love stage. So the fourth one is the stability stage, or some other people call it the commitment stage. Now, at that stage, that usually happen, after some years. At that stage, it would have been obvious or apparent to both parties at that stage that, see, if we continue like this will definitely hit the rock. So the reasonable ones among them, among the reasonable ones, among the couples will start thinking and saying, okay, I may need to change my ways. I may need to adjust if I really want this, to be a permanent relationship, if I really want this to last. Now, they are beginning to see that, their life without the other person, may lead to chaos, may lead to some sort of setback. They are now beginning to see the importance of the other person in that marriage or in that relationship, and it's beginning to dawn on the party that, if I don't do something fast, I may lose. I may lose this person. If I don't change my ways, I may use my hand to spoil what I've been building for years. So that stage is usually like the self-realization stage, where both now realizes that, we may not be able to do without each other, not necessarily because there is children between the two, but maybe for other reasons, for many other reasons, it's possible. You can now see that, if this person should leave, the other party will experience maybe some setback, or definitely a lot, will go wrong whichever way, depending on who is pulling more weight, in that relationship. So it's usually like the self-awareness stage, where both have now realized that, we have to do something fast, we have to do something to change or bring stability into this marriage. We have to show commitment. So this is now like individual decision to stay committed to the marriage, and to make it work. So that is now the stage where both parties now begin to mature or grow out of their weaknesses, out of those deficiencies that the other partner noticed initially. You now begin to see some changes here and there, adjustments here and there. So at that point, it's now a commitment from the both parties, to make it work. So when that happens, that is why we call it the stability state. Why? Because it's now becoming the ideal relationship situation, where both are now pulling their weight to make things work, and it's not that, oh, it's just one person laboring to make love happen. Both now have come to a self-realization, and they have seen that, wow, I just have to adjust. I just have to do the right thing if I don't want to lose. If I don't want to lose out, or I don't want to lose, things that are built or expended energy on over the years. So basically, it's a lot of work actually to stay to stay through all these four cycles, and to say, what, let me just keep hoping, let me just keep trusting. I mean, some people never get to this third stage. Some people stop at the second stage, making love happen. And when they see that, wow, there is no response, some easily quit at that stage. But it's advisable for you not to cultivate the habit of just quitting. Why? Because I mean, you can't just, marriage is not like your clothes that you can keep saying, oh, I'm just going to change my clothes, or wear a new hairstyle. No, this one, you have to make sure you've done all that is necessary, to bring about a change, to bring about a transformation. And at times you will need to add a lot of patience. Even at times, most times you need to add a lot of prayers, perseverance and hoping. But the only thing is that we keep saying that when your life is threatened, I mean, when it's obvious that your life is at stake in the marriage, then there is no point, trying to move, maybe to the end of the cycle at that time. So what you want to be thinking of is to save your life first, and ensure that you stay alive, before you decide to save the marriage. But whichever way, it's always good for us to go through the cycle to the end, and ensure that you you really are making things happen. You are making love happen. You are not constituting either you're not constituting a problem to your marriage or to your spouse. You are not the one throwing storms or creating storms for your home, because a lot of people, they easily blame the devil. But the honest truth is, the devil will not just force you to do things. You also have the will to choose between good and evil. So it's your responsibility to choose what is right, to do what is good, and decide that, okay, if I want this for permanence, then I need to do the things that will make this union permanent, and not do things that will destabilize it, that will threaten the peace, the stability, and the bliss, of the union. So I think I've said a lot. You can read more about it from my book titled Marriage or Mirage. It's an interesting book. It's almost 30 chapters. It contains a lot. It's available on Amazon, Amazon.com, Amazon.uk, all the Amazons, even if you're in Canada, Denmark, everywhere, you can always get it on Amazon. And if you're in Africa, you can download the soft copy online. You could download it from our website, morelightng.org, morelightng.org. So the book is available there for you to download. Please, let's make use of these resources, and I pray that God will continue to help our relationships and our marriages, that it will always get better. So hoping to see your comment, your like, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're yet to do so. As we look forward to hearing from you, I remain your host, Malaya and Oputi. Till see you again. I say bye bye.